Good evening, and what a night. You know, critics would say it's about personalities, but personalities come and go. Only our character as a great state and nation endures. I'm so happy to share this moment with my wife, Sandy, who's been at my side since I first ran for district judge in San Antonio a long time ago. And our two daughters, two strong Texas women who've always been a point of inspiration and pride for me. I want to thank every Texan across our great state who cast their ballot. This is a historic election for so many reasons. Whether I earned your vote or whether you were pulling for my opponent, I'm honored and committed to serving and representing all Texans. My goal as your United States Senator is simple: continue to make Texas a place of exceptional opportunity for all. In the next 6 years, I look forward to our visits, our celebrations, and working together to overcome whatever challenges may come our way. Generations of Texans and Americans have fought for the freedom to make our own choices. I'm honored to serve in Sam Houston's Senate seat. He believed that what was good for Texas was good for America, and I think he was right. Texans are entrepreneurs, cowboys, wildcatters, and astronauts. We're working parents, students, teachers, and immigrants. Whatever hat we wear, we often find that despite our differences, we are united by our core values: faith, family, and freedom. These are the tenets that have made Texas and our nation so successful, and they are what guide me as I work hard to serve 29 million Texans. I'm glad we had this fight. It's a fight for the soul of our nation and our state. Let me close by saying this: serving as your United States Senator has been the privilege of my lifetime. We have accomplished a lot together, but we have more to do. And while we may be separated, we must also now be united. So together, we'll get down the road and we'll work hard to make sure our state continues to be the best place in the world to live, work, and raise a family. Thank you. God bless you, and may God continue to bless the great state of Texas.
Thank you very much, Senator. And at this time, we'll take a few questions from the media. Patrick Spitak from the Texas Tribune. You're welcome to ask any question.
Hey there, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Senator, obviously the president tonight in Texas is in a little bit of a closer race, at least a race that's not going to be called as early as yours was. In this campaign, how important was it for you to create an independent brand in terms of running on that statewide ticket?
Well, Patrick, I'm proud of the work that we've been able to do working together with President Trump to confirm about 220 federal judges, 21 in Texas alone, and of course, the most recent Supreme Court nominee, Amy Coney Barrett. I'm proud of the work we've done together on the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act to reduce the tax burden for hardworking families, and the work we've done to cut red tape, which has strangled a lot of our businesses. So I know while people are focused on maybe the different personalities, I'm proud to work with this president. When I disagree with him, as you've heard, I prefer to do that in private. He's accessible, he listens, and I've been able to move the needle with him and sometimes get him to see things my way. But obviously, the president's not from Texas. I've been on the ballot a number of times here. And as I said to the 100 community leaders in South Texas, in the Rio Grande Valley, who are self-professed Democrats, they support me because they know me and they trust me. And that transcends any kind of politics or personalities. And I think that had a lot to do with our showing here tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. The next question, in fact, I'll pause for a moment, remind everyone, if you'd like to ask the senator a question, please do so by submitting it to the chat here on our Zoom. The next question I'd like to give the opportunity to Bob Garrett with the Dallas Morning News to ask. Bob?
I think you're muted, Bob.
How about now?
There you go.
Hey, congratulations. What pleased you the most in terms of your performance as you looked around the map of Texas tonight?
I'm sorry, say that again, Bob.
Muted. All right, now can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what pleased you the most as you
Oh.
looked around the state at your performance tonight?
Well, I've been on the ballot before, Bob, and one of the challenges when you run every 6 years is you're not necessarily a household name. And one of the things that I've been most pleased with is as we did our advertising, we focused on some important but maybe rather small accomplishments, things like anti-human trafficking legislation, fighting the rape kit backlog, and things of that nature. My work on criminal justice reform. Again, these aren't necessarily headline news or going to be on cable TV on a nightly basis, but these are some things that I felt like have made a difference in the lives of regular Texans. And the one that we didn't talk about very much during the campaign that I am very proud of is the work we did to enhance the background check system for the purchase of firearms in the wake of Sutherland Springs. I believe that the legislation that I worked on with Chris Murphy, one of the most liberal members of the Senate from Connecticut, who has very different views on the Second Amendment than I do, that we were able to work out and find common ground to improve the background check system, which already is accounted for. I think it's about 6,000 additional entries on the background check system, because in that case, as you know, the Air Force and the United States government had not uploaded felony convictions, dishonorable discharges, and the like. So that's sort of the, while people focus on things like the Supreme Court, which I'm proud to work on, I've been a privilege to be part of 7 Supreme Court confirmation hearings, including Amy Coney Barrett. That's probably some of the biggest, most significant, highest profile things we get to do as a senator. But a lot of it's sort of singles and doubles. And I'm proud of those efforts. And I think through our paid advertising, we were able to get that message out. And I think people saw me as a problem solver, which is the way I like to regard myself. I think to me, I get the greatest satisfaction in trying to find hard problems that people haven't been able to solve for one reason or another, and be able to build that consensus and make some progress.
Thank you, sir. The next question comes from Christian Flores. Christian, go ahead with your question.
Notice in some of your recent ads, you've really touted some bipartisan efforts as far as, agendas law. You also showed your support for, coverage of pre-existing conditions. How important were these efforts in, capturing the moderates, the undecided voters, the independents? What role do you think it played in your victory tonight?
Well, the hardest thing in politics is trying to get your story out. And the easiest thing for your opponent to do is simply to lie about your record. And with so much money coming in from outside organizations and groups, typically Texas had been kind of an oasis when it came to outside political spending, because we're so expensive. We're such a big state to run in. But here, I think our friends on the other side had so much money. They had more money than they knew what to do with. So they ended up investing in a long shot in places like Texas. So, but look, I'm very proud of the fact that outside organizations, nonpartisan organizations, have called me one of the most effective members of the United States Senate. Again, I haven't run for president of the United States. I'm not necessarily the first one to run to the mics or the TV cameras when we, in the halls of Congress. That's fine if people want to do that. But frankly, I get the greatest satisfaction of solving problems that other people have not yet been able to solve. And the only way you do that is through a bipartisan effort. And it's hard work. It takes time and it takes trust, something that's in short supply in Washington, D.C. But despite the fact I'm a proud conservative, I'm a proud Texas conservative, I'll work with anybody who's willing to join arms with me and join cause with me to be able to make some progress where progress is possible.
Thank you, Senator. And thank you everyone who joined us for this Zoom. We appreciate you joining us on this very historic evening. I'm going to cut the Zoom off right now, but the great news is you have 6 more years to ask Senator Cornyn all your questions.
Have a good
Thank
night.
you guys very much. Good night.